Hello and welcome everyone. Today's stream will be very much focused on finishing the last breaking changes. We won't be recapping the previous streams and all that functionality. I will do probably on the next stream, so maybe I will make a separate video on the functionality we implemented and what good stuff we done. Today I will just dive into the small set of tasks. We'll try to finish them so we can start working on integration of the testing library into ID. The rest tasks we will be accomplishing during the integration. I'm Andrew Tropin. I work on operating systems and programming languages and do a lot of free and open source software along the way, including this small library. You probably remember we had a silent stream which didn't have sound at all, and we added metadata to tests. We will do the same for the test suite. It's quite easy task, and we will use it to warm up. Yep, I won't be discussing next tasks yet, so let's go to straight to the implementation. We have test suite. Further. Test suite. Here. Let's remove this to do, and we will implement it the same way. As we did for tests. Suite description, metadata, expressions, suite description, metadata, metadata. Okay. Now we added an optional metadata specifier for test suites. Let's go and write some suitable tests. Test suite. Sorry, I always forget the right pronunciation. Nested suites. Test macro usage. Test suite usage. Okay, test suite usage here. Test suite. Metadata. Test is okay. We defined a test suite with metadata. Now, how we understand that the metadata is respected? The easiest way would be to just ask test runner to give us test suite which matches the metadata and get the description of the test suite and compare it against. However, it will require the modification of the test runner, which we don't want to do today because we want to be very focused. I will do the following. To improve this test, check that metadata saved and we can retrieve it. For now this one should be fine because it at least access the new metadata syntax, and we just I want to make sure it doesn't fail. Let's update the number of tests in our test suite and run all the tests. Unexpected number of tests. 1 second. Test suite usage tests. Test suite usage tests. We have 15 tests. Why? Let's see. Test suite usage test. Test suite usage test. Tests. It seems like it completely ignores this one. Nested test suites and test macros is here. Oh, one thing I forgot in our hierarchy. Hierarchy test reporter. Hierarchy test suite, enter test suite leave and test schedule. Did I accidentally removed it? Test start, assert. Yes, I guess so. Let's see. Test scheduled. This one. I accidentally removed it. Oh, luckily we didn't merge it yet. Let's copy it. Let's go here. Put it here. Oops. Now let's build the hierarchy one more time. Okay, now we have tests. Test suite usage. It still doesn't have a test suite with metadata. I don't know what exactly is happening here. I will remove the cache manually. However, it should be removed right here, ideally. Test suite. By the way, let's commit this change. Commit fix up. Okay, we just added this change to one of the previous commits that we not yet pushed. Suite description, metadata, blah blah blah. I don't understand what is happening. Let's try to run test suite usage tests, right? Oh, my bad. This one that probably more people will face the syntax for test suites. When we nest them, we need to wrap them into additional pair of parentheses to actually call the test suite. Now it's good. And let's save the metadata provided. We will do it the same way as we did here with tests. Like this. Okay, maybe it's not the perfect solution for how we set metadata for tests, but it's good enough for now. And we also have an opportunity to break the API later, one more time, like in a few months, when we will be making the first release, like first stable and probably last major release of this library. Suitable tests. Description here. Boom. Suitable. Meta data to test suite. Okay. The cool thing about test-driven development is that it highlights the weakness of your code. If it's hard to test some part of your code, that can be and very likely is a sign of a bad code. I mean, of course, we don't have such categories like bad and good code, but the code that's hard to test is probably hard to reason about, hard to maintain, and so on. Or at least it's not complete. Here we can see that it's hard to test sweet metadata because the test runner is a bit incomplete at the moment. But actually it's not that hard to test. It just requires a bit more time to write corresponding functionality for test runner. But it's not the goal of our stream, and let's stick to the goal. Let's focus on this one. Make test runner public and to be set by default. That's important one. I was talking about test runner factory that we have at the moment. This is a pattern which we implemented like this. We have a variable set, a private variable, private dynamic variable or parameter set to false by default, and we have a function which either retrieves the value of this variable or creates a new test runner, and we have another dynamic variable which contains a test a thunk which returns a new test runner. However, what we will do right now, we will take this method that creates new test runner, and we will just create a test runner and we'll set it directly, and we'll reuse the same test runner over and over again. We won't be recreating new test runners. It will hugely simplify some parts of the code. And also we will need to put it inside our test runner later. Oops. Suitbl rearrange. Okay, vars. Let's call them variables. Okay, basically we don't even need to change the test runner. We just get rid of this thing. Current test runner, make parameter. Test runner creates suitbl. We don't need this one anymore, and we don't need the whole thing anymore here. So we can even remove both of them. And Let's for now keep it percent current test runner, which means it is a private, but we will update it later. Now everywhere we use test runner get to create. Instead we will use current test runner. So I will do occur search for what okay. I was looking for the wrong thing. And now let's edit our core buffer. Test runner get to create current test runner. And let's go and update it. Now we have the current test runner set. Probably we will need to have a bit of cleanup, but let's see if any tests will break. Okay, something broken. Test runner get to create. Probably here. Get we will do the same. Oops. Okay, nothing horribly broken. Seems quite nice. It wasn't that hard, to be honest. At least right now it doesn't seem that hard. It will allow us to get rid of reset test environment, because we won't need to reset a private dynamic variable. We will be able to just expose this dynamic variable, so people outside can set it directly, or we can just rewrite it and get, instead of get test runner, we will just provide a new test runner. Okay, anyway, let's go further. Let's get rid of this unnecessary parameterization, because we are sure that we have a current test runner, right? And we also have current test runner here, and we don't need this parameterization anymore. Current test runner. Let's go current test runner, current test suite, current test runner, current test suite. Okay, let's restart the tests. It was quite easy migration, much easier than I expected, but we got rid of some unnecessary wrappers. What if we set the current test runner to false? Probably the test won't fail, because we explicitly set them to a different value. Like we set current test runner with reset test environment in suitbl tests here. Test runner, and we explicitly use it, right? test runner run test suites, test runner blah blah blah. Okay. Now we can potentially rename it to the just current test runner. Let's go here. Let's do it. Current test runner. Current test runner. Pam 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 pam. Oh. Let's go back. One more time. Current test runner. Current test runner. By default, the search is matched by a regular expression, so it lazily matched asterisk as no symbols, and we got a double asterisk. Okay. Now we got an error. Okay. For some reason current test runner was okay, we exposed it just right now. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, that's good. Let's go and commit it. This was quite easy. I really like how it went. We get rid of this unnecessary complexity, but we didn't lose any functionality, I guess. And anyway, we can get back to the previous implementation if you want later and return test runner factory, but we definitely I'm almost sure we won't need it. Suitbl get rid of test runner factory. And probably now we can also get rid of reset test environment, or at least of get rid of schedule only. Because schedule only is used in one thing. Oh, now we can also implement it as a part of a test runner. Right? Run test suites run test suites. We will do absolutely the same stuff, right? Current test runner. How to reference itself? How to reference itself? No, I didn't solve the, original problem of setting current test runner. We still can do it. We still need a separate function which accepts test runner and test suite. Oh, I know how we can do it. I know it. We already have a test runner here, right? And we have a reference to it. So we can save it. Define this test runner. Oh, okay. I guess we kind of found the solution. Run test suites. Okay. And here we do all the same stuff. This scale only true. Okay, looks good. And now for this one we will just do test runner, and we will call it with a message. Type run test suites, and here test suites, sock ref, sock ref x, Boom, boom, boom. Great, great. We got rid of one more function. We can even keep it as a convenience API. And we have run test suites. Test runner create suitable current test runner. Run test suites. Like this. I guess we can rename it to the just test runner, but later. Let's first restart the tests and make sure that they're working. Now let's commit the updates. Test song. Oh, did we forget to update it? Did we forget to commit it? Commit extend. Define this. Run test suite. Move run test suite logic inside test runner. Test suites. Okay, let's clean up a bit our test runner implementation. We can do it later, of course, but at least one thing that I wanted to do is, instead of doing it with let, we can do it like this, and it will reduce a nestness a bit. I prefer define over let for reducing the nestness, but it's basically the same stuff under the hood. It's huge white space change. You can see a lot of changes here, but basically we just updated the nestness. Get rid of unnecessary let. It's you need to understand that the define here is different from define in closure, because define in closure always define a global function, but define in scheme defines a local variable. Def and define, enclosure defines global variables. Not the case for scheme language. Okay, we have a lot of stuff here. Change the condition of top level suite. Another thing that was bothering me is case description. Do we have description anyway here? We can just call it description, I guess. Description, or test description. Test description. What else can we do? We actually can change a syntax case to syntax rule. It will allow to preserve the information and the usage syntax for those macros, because right now if you type test, you don't see any hints at the bottom right, but if you type define test suite, you see there is suggestion here. This is because it's defined with syntax rules. By the way, if I will add one more pattern here, another pattern here, okay, and define test suite. Okay, very nice, very pretty. And I guess I will use syntax rules for test suite to make those suggestions possible, and we'll add the documentation. It's a good cleanup for our macro API. We don't need a wrapping lambda anymore. Rules x, and basically it can return the pattern like this, right? Can we use with syntax? Actually, we don't even need pret syntax. We can just use pret args, blah blah blah, like this. Right, have only one pattern. It's interesting. It still works. However, I'm not sure why it presents only one pattern, but okay. Syntax rules docstring here, Will it work? Okay, we will add it anyway. Flexible assert macro. We also wanted to rename current test runner to just test runner. Syntax rules. Actually, this one will never match. Or will it? Okay, it will match when we do it like this. I would expect to get a wrong test usage here. I'm curious why we don't match against this pattern, because it means 0 or more entries, isn't it? Okay, anyway, let's restart the test, and we have another problem here. Boom, boom, form. Source expression failed to match any pattern. Did I made a mistake somewhere here? Syntax rules. X procedure. Define syntax T A B. Okay, it works. Let's jump back to our test. Okay. Unbound variable current test runner. Okay. Is with how is macro? I guess the problem is here. Okay. 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 Test. Okay, the problem was that I put the argument here, x, which broke everything. It's interesting that the pattern with metadata is not written in the test. You see? Test description, expressions. Maybe it is a bug on our side. Macro. Transformer. define syntax rules, syntax case, clause, syntax error. Interesting. Is it a bug, I guess, or not? Syntax rules. Transformers metadata, which okay. And the last one. Simple. It's not a simple union. It's I mean, maybe it's simple. Test suite. Tropin unit. To combine test and syntax rules. Oh, now we can move schedule only inside test runner, and we won't need to reset it. We will do it actually just after we commit this one. Okay. API to syntax rules. Okay, I guess I already commented it in the code. Or maybe I still need reserves mention terms in former metadata allows to display IDE. Oops. Let me check that the sound is okay. Okay. Today it's okay. That's good. Now, the schedule only. We can move it here. And it will continue to work. And now it's not anymore a hack. It's just an implementation detail. Oops. Oops. I guess it was a bug. Commit extend. Oh, it's funny. It wasn't a bug before, I guess. Before we migrated to test to syntax rules, because the pattern variable was used in the pattern of transformer, and it didn't matter if it was a test suite or something or underscore here. We could use it here. It is the weakness of syntax rules for sure. Okay, let's go back to schedule only. We don't need this anymore. And schedule only here. And let's take this one, put it here. Okay, let's check the tasks. Add reporters to the test runner. Make test return unspecified, so nobody tries to use it to obtain test summary. I guess we can fix it a bit later. Test reporters and adding them to test runners. Doable. Let me see. We have test runner create suitable. We can add a test reporter here. Test reporter, and by default it will be what? We need to do key test reporter. By default, which reporter we use? Test reporter base, I guess, like this, and test reporter. Now, instead of using dynamic test reporter \asterisk, we use just test reporter. Boom. Can completely remove it. Can completely remove it. Boom. Yes, that's it. Okay, now test reporter \. Oops. Okay, run test. We need to undo all that stuff. We can just copy all of it here. Test pins, blah blah blah. Then papa. this, and run test, run scheduled test suite, summary, remaining items, run scheduled test. We don't need this function anymore at all. You can just remove it, I guess. Don't need to copy it. I forgot to remove it earlier. We need only this function, which we already copied, and we need this function. Skip predicate and we comment this one. Let's restart all our tests. Boom, 2 errors. Test simple failure, test simple failure. Oof, it was a bit too huge refactoring. We did too many things at once, and it's not a surprise that it fails. And it will be hard to understand why it happens right now. Okay, let's actually roll back everything that we've done. Okay, and first of all, we restart the tests and check that they went great. After that, we remove this unnecessary function and restart the tests. Great. Wow. Let's return back this function. Okay, we have this one. Now, removing this function, and what happens? Everything works great. And how it looks. Remove stale function. Great. We did a small atomic change. Now, ideally, what we do? Ideally we move all that stuff, including test events, like this, move it here, and after that we take all of this, put it here, scheduled, merge summaries, we take it, put it here, test events, okay, it still works. Very good so far. This, we take this, and then take this. Now move all test runner related functions into runner factory. And after we achieved it, now we will do update to the reporters, and we will also need to do another update, but we can do it later. We add test reporter base, and we do our change. Yes, it's interesting. I don't need this one anymore. I don't need this one anymore. Yes. Test reporter. Okay, and we go to test. Now the test will fail, definitely will fail. Test reporter. Here way we parameterize test reporter. Okay, first thing first, we'll do like this, and here in test reporter we will set test reporter dots with hierarchy. This is the first change, and the second one, test reporter here. Oh, okay. Instead of using reset test environment, we will use parameterize directly and current test runner create suitbl and test reporter like this. I anticipated that we will do the change with test reporters, and the way we set up test environments, so I already prepared it and made a macro which we used everywhere in our code. So now test reporter, we don't need this variable anymore, we don't need this variable anymore. Commit fix up oh, we failed. No, rebase, continue. I started to do actions during rebase, and I guess it broke some things. What the heck? Successfully rebased. Good. Now let's get rid of test reporters. Suitable tests. Commit extend. Stage commit extend. Bam. Okay, the only task that I didn't cover today is making a test returning unspecified value, so now nobody tries to use it to obtain test summary. It's a good task, but it is related to the test runner internal implementation, and we can do it later. It's not necessary for our API change. Today we did like a huge update. The test reporters now are part of a test runner. The test runner is set via the dynamic variable current test runner that we will probably rename to do rename to test runner. We put the run test suites, previously it called test runner, run test suites, into test runner itself, because now test runner has this variable and can access itself, which is also great. We don't need to rely on dynamic variables so much inside the test runner, and we can actually add the task here. To do a reference test runner with this instead of dynamic variable. We can put it into the list of our tasks. We introduced this variable so we can reference the test runner inside the test runner itself. Correct. Correct. So we already use it in one place, this, but I guess it's much more places test runner where we can update it. Yep, we can do it. Not necessary, but we can do it. And after the function defined, we update the value of this variable to our test runner. So all the stuff here starts to work. Okay, huge. One more time, the recap of what we've done. The important update, we get rid of test runner factory. Now we can just set one variable to the test runner. We don't need anymore a reset test environment macro, because just parameterizing this variable to the new test runner will make a trick. We added metadata to test suites, which is was a warm-up task. We just replicated the same stuff we did for tests. Now you can add metadata to both tests and test suites, and based on this metadata we can control the behavior of test runner, which tests to skip, which tests we can run in parallel, and so on. Get rid of test runner factory. Right. We introduced this variable that we can reference inside test runner, and it allowed us to implement run test suite logic inside test runner itself, but not as a external function. We did a small cleanup of the code. We migrated our macro API to syntax rules, so we can have suggestions like this one. At the bottom you can see the signature of the macro. That's the only reason why we migrated to syntax rules. We get rid of schedule only hack. Now this is a variable inside test runner and its implementation detail, and not a part of our public API in any case, even in how you call it, indirect. It's not even indirect part of our public API. We moved all the test runner related functions, almost all of them, into test runner factory, which creates test runners, the function which returns actual test runners. And we moved test reporters into test runners. Now they are tightly attached to the test runner, and now when you use test runner, you can't dynamically override test reporter inside it, which probably makes a lot of sense because you usually don't need to do so. If you need to dynamically redefine a test reporter, that means that you probably need another test runner. And I think it's like a proper design. I will need to spend a bit more time with it and play around with it. We still have an opportunity to break API in the future, in a few months, when we will be releasing the final major release of the library, and after that we won't be breaking API of the library at all. But I hope this API is already good enough. In a few days I will understand what small things we need to fix, but it should be the more or less final API for the library. Okay, that means that we did most essential tasks already, and our library is in a usable state. Our suitable library in a usable state, and we can start implementing the integration of the library into our IDE. During this integration, we of course will be cleaning up other to-dos that we are not finished. We will be cleaning up all the code in the test runners, not all the code, but part of the code in the test runners, and maybe here in exploration API and so on, and of course the tests themselves. But we still we can already use this library to define our tests and improve it on the way, because the API and overall concepts are settled, and I guess we won't change them in the future. At least I hope so. Okay, thank you very much for joining the stream. I hope you enjoyed and it was useful for you, and see you in a bit.